welcome to the Allotment Gardener once again. We're actually going to plant something this week. It's mid-March. It's probably a bit early for what we're going to do, but you know we like taking a risk. A bit of cold weather coming, but I'm going to put some spuds in. They're already chitted, and I'm going to dig a nice deep trench to put them in, and if I dig them deep enough, plant them deep enough, then the cold weather shouldn't affect them. There's arguments for or against chitting, there's arguments for or against earthing up. I'm going to earth up, and the method that I use is to dig a trench and put the spuds in the bottom of the trench, because everything that comes out the trench can be used to earth up. Some people use a dibber, push the potato into the hole that's been made. If you do that, you're starting from scratch. You've got to take the soil from either side to build up. So what I'm going to do now, I've already started the row, is I'm going to carry on digging the row. Not a bad tool for doing this, the old entrenching tool. But digging these nice and deep, because as the weather is cold, we want them buried quite a way down so it doesn't affect them. You might say he's doing a lot of work for 6 potatoes, but it'll save all the problems with earthing up later, because we'll just be able to tip the soil back on top of them. The old couch grass. Right, here we go. You can see, nice trench, nice mounds of earth on either side, which means we just tip it back in when we want to earth the spuds up. Okay, trench dug. Now what I've done is I've actually just thrown the spuds into the bottom of the trench. The reason I've done this is if you stop planting them and you haven't spaced them out, you quite often get a big gap, and then you have to have loads of tiny little gaps. Whereas this way, by just throwing them in, you can move them back and forward until you've got the even spacing. Once you've got that done, then just push them in. The eyes should be uppermost, and then cover them over with some of the soil. Still got a bit of this couch grass in here, but do what we can with it. Just literally push the spuds in and then cover them over with the soil. So just pile some on there, pile them over, and as you'll see, we've still got piles of extra soil to earth them up with. And generally speaking, if you've planted them up near the surface, you're going to be earthing up here. But we're going to have nigh on a foot's depth of soil covering them to start with, so the earthing up process is a lot easier if you dig your trench first, so it's worth the effort. There we go, that's the row of spuds in. We'll leave it a couple of weeks and stick another row in, and we should have a constant crop. Each one of those potatoes in there is probably going to give us about the equivalent of a medium-sized bag of potatoes. So there's a few weeks worth. If we leave it a couple of weeks before we put that next row in, we won't have them all ready at the same time. What we're going to do now is pop into the greenhouse and just have an update on how things are growing. God, it's a bit warmer in here, I tell you. Pity the poor old cameraman, old Phil. Right, we've got cabbages, sprouts, more sprouts, onions, leeks, the lettuce and radishes, sweet peas, carrots, peas, and the pink fir apple in here. There's movement on at least half of that. I'm just going to throw some water over them, and then we'll just take a few shots of them so you can see the movement since the last time we did it. Clearly movement on the red cabbage, coming along nicely. As I said previously, Phil will be pickling away before we know it. There we go, with the first lot of sprouts doing a lot better than the second lot. Here's the underachievers in the sprout world. I'll have to actually point them out because they are pretty poor specimens compared with the last tray, but we'll stick with them and see how we get on. There's the Bedfordshire onions coming along beautifully. I must say I can't see any movement on the tomatoes, so we'll go straight past them to the leeks. Leeks are probably at the stage the onions were at last week, so maybe in a week's time they'll look as good as the onions do. Broad beans have finally appeared and are racing on. The ones we've got out in the ground can't see them at all, so these may well get put into the soil in a couple of weeks to take their place if they don't show. As you can see, we've got the guttering with the peas in it, and there's a lot of greenery already showing. That's the lettuce and the radish in the grow bag. You might be able to spot the line down the middle from left to right through the centre of the bag. That's where the radishes were planted, and they're pushing their way through. The rest of it is the salad leaf and lettuce, etc. Only a short session on the video today, but I'm quite pleased we've come to an end because it's freezing. Hope to catch up with you soon.